Hello guys and welcome to Friday's FRT Gold live video. Hope you're all doing well. It's Friday morning, the sun's shining here in Norwich. It's bank holiday weekend just around the corner. A fantastic days of racing today and also a really good weekend, of course. As you know, it's the Irish Guineas weekend with the 1,000, 2,000 guineas coming from the Curragh. Also a really good day at Haydock tomorrow with the Temple Bar Stakes and the Silver Bowl, and there's also that mammoth £15 million Scoop 6 up for grabs as well. So plenty to be excited about. Should be a really good day's worth of action today. Really looking forward to it. There's 7 meetings actually in total, so certainly a busy one. We're racing from there's 8 meetings today actually. No, there is 7. We're racing from Haydock, Yarmouth, Goodwood, Cork, Towcester, Musselburgh and Pontefract. So 7 meetings in total, loads of racing to get stuck into. 6 of them are on the flat, of course, with Towcester having a jumps card. And yeah, looking forward to today getting underway. As always, this is a Q&A session if you did want to join in that, if you want any extra tips or anything for today, or if you've got any questions about any of today's tips or any just general horse racing queries, or you want me to look at something for the weekend, that's absolutely fine. Please do join in the Q&A session, or if any of those things apply but you can't join in the Q&A session, then just send me an email, joe@freeracingtips.co.uk, get in touch via Twitter @freeracingtips7, and also go on the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/FRT Gold. Loads of ways for you to get in touch. Please do feel free to do just that. So we'll take a look at yesterday to begin with. It was actually a really frustrating day. The ball got rolling with the premium tip that this mare was running an absolutely cracking race, I thought. Jumped 3 out, no problem whatsoever, cleared it, and was just, had barely been asked a question by Richard Johnson, to be honest. Was poised in about 3rd position and looked like going very close, no doubt about that. Then sort of 4, 5, even 6 maybe strides away from the hurdle. Whether the horse just ran into a bit of bad ground or just stumbled on something, but actually just tripped and fell. I mean, luckily, first of all, I'll say horse and rider both absolutely fine, but it just sums up a bit of luck at the moment. It's not quite going our way with these, it's the little things that haven't quite been going our way. We don't seem to be winning those photo finishes, and then when we've got a tip that I'm still convinced we picked the right horse. I don't think there's any doubt about that, but sometimes you just have to sit back and say it's just rotten luck, and that's exactly what it was. I mean, if the horse had completely clattered the hurdle and come down, then fair enough, we picked the wrong horse, hadn't jumped very well, but that wasn't the case, and I don't know whether it was a bit of bad ground or something like that, or whether the horse just as some of us, I'm sure we do sometimes, just walking or running down the street, you might just have a little trip up, and that's exactly what happened to this horse, unfortunately. But as I say, both horse and rider seemed absolutely fine. In a way, although it's frustrating, I'd rather something like that happen than the horse get pulled up and run no sort of race whatsoever. As I say, I think we were on the right horse, just didn't quite have the luck that we needed in that race. So hopefully we can change that luck around today and have a premium tip winner. And our premium tip today, that goes in the 620 at Towcester, and our tip here is Bertie's Desire, and that's currently at 11-8. Plenty of market support for this horse from 13-8 last night, and actually comes here in great form. And despite a rise in the weights, I think that this horse can complete a hat-trick today. Comes from Oliver Sherwood's yard, who's a trainer that I actually rate. Has Leighton Aspel on board, who's a man riding with plenty of confidence. Still probably confident after that Grand National win, of course, last month. Really does look to be the one to beat today, actually. This horse, conditions look to be ideal, no problem with the trip whatsoever, and as I said, yeah, can complete that hat-trick. Comes here after a couple of really good wins. Looks to be the most progressive horse in the race. There are some horses in decent form, but I do just think this horse is one that's on the up and could potentially still be fairly well handicapped, could maybe go up in class after this, but I see no reason why the hat-trick can't be completed here for Bertie's Desire in the 620 at Towcester. That's the premium tip, and it's at 11-8 from 13-8 this morning. The next best bet of the day, that goes in the 820 at Towcester, and our tip here is Playing the Field at 2-1. Now, this horse runs for John Joe O'Neill and has AP McCoy on board, and the champ is in outstanding form at the moment, putting some really good rides. I believe had a treble yesterday, and yeah, and looked to be in cracking form indeed. And I think after Playing the Field's win last time out, he can go on and win again. has taken a rise in the weights, but it's still actually £2 lower than a win at Newcastle a couple of years ago. And I don't think the handicapper has quite got a full grip on this horse at the moment. Might do after this race, after it wins. It might be one to maybe take a back seat for, because it could potentially be poorly handicapped possibly. But I think at the moment this horse is looking like a decent bit of value in this race. Looks to be the most progressive, I think, and the best in the race with the best form. And yeah, should go well in what I would say isn't the strongest of fields. You don't expect it to be at this time of year over jumps, but sometimes I think you can pluck out a good value winner there. And I think the fact that there are maybe 13 or so runners in this race is a positive. I think if you were looking at 6 or 7 runners, then we might be looking at an odds-on shot, but I do think we've got better value with a few more runners, but no reason as to why Playing the Field can't complete a quick fire double and win this race here. That's in the 8:20 at Toaster. Playing the Field at 2-1 is our next best bet for the day. Right, we'll move on to the Little Earner now, and that goes in the 7 o'clock at Pontefract, and our tip here is Arizona John. Now this horse is coming for some really big market support. Actually, it's currently best priced at 6-1, and that's from 9-1 last night. So not really much each way value on the horse now at 6-1, and you might want to go for a small stakes win bet if you did miss that each way value. Or if you do want an each way bet, then do just join in the Q&A session, or just drop me a line on Facebook, or via email, and I can send you maybe even a replacement Little Earner if you do want an each way bet, because at 6-1 I can't be advising this horse at an each way price. But if you did get that 9-1 last night, we're looking like we've plucked some really good each way value there, as this horse is now, as I said, been backed into 6-1. Odds have reduced by about 33%, which is pretty damn big there. So this horse was actually third at first class timeout in what was a decent performance, I think, actually, considering it was soft ground, and I don't think that's the ideal conditions for the horse. It's on good ground today, has won a good to firm prior to this race. I ran 2 starts ago over good to firm, and was a victory one over there in those kind of conditions. I think good ground is sure to suit. I think this will be on the faster side of good there at Pontefract today. It's been a really consistent horse as well, loads and loads of place finishes, and actually from around about 50, I think it's 57 runs, the horse has managed 9 victories, and that's not a bad strike rate at all. And if you look at the level stakes, so if you put a £1 win bet on each time this horse ran, you'd be 13 points in profit. So that shows you that this horse is a consistent horse that does it when at a decent enough price, and I think can go really well today and produce another victory. Looks to be a really good, or was certainly a good each way bet at 9-1. At 6-1 you can't quite recommend it in terms of an each way price, but as I said, if you did want a replacement Little Earner, I can search around and find one for you there. But yeah, hopefully you got that 9-1 on the Little Earner in the 7 o'clock at Pontefract, Arizona John there. So that's the premium tip, the next best bet, and the Little Earner. We'll go through the Little Lucky 15 and the odds on double, which is returning today after I didn't do one yesterday, and I'm glad I didn't, because the 2 I had kind of shortlist, I think one of them actually got beat. So I wasn't confident enough yesterday, so I didn't go for it. But yeah, the Lucky 15 today. We start off with Running Deer in the 3:25 at Goodwood. Now this horse was at 9-1 when first tipped this morning, but it's now at 10-3, and that's not. I think there's a bit of money coming for the horse, no doubt about that, but the 2-1 shot in the race has been withdrawn, so there is going to be a bit of rule for if you got it at 9-2 there. Off the top of my head, I want to say about 25 pence in the pound, maybe. I could be completely wrong there, but just about that, maybe 30 pence or something. But yeah, there will be a bit of rule for there, unfortunately, but I think you'll still get around about that 10-3. That looks to be about the right price for this horse at the moment, and that does still look to be good value, of course. Although you might think, oh, the odds have gone down, the horse has now got a much better chance of winning the race with that favourite being withdrawn. A little bit of a shame, because I did think even at 9-2 was a really good price and had a great chance, of course. That's why it's in Lucky 15, but sometimes these things happen. Can't do anything about non-runners, and luckily it wasn't a sort of a 2-1 shot or something that is now withdrawn. Oh, the horse we tipped, sorry, wasn't a 2-1 shot, and then a short price favourite got withdrawn, and then all of a sudden it's odds on and no value whatsoever. Luckily it was from the race where we plucked out a 9-2 shot. So that's the first Lucky 15 horse. We then have Butte Street in the 5:35 at Yarmouth at 7-2, and then it's the premium tip Bertie's Desire in the 6:20 at Toaster at 11-8, and finally it is Playing the Field in the in the 820 at Toaster at 2 to 1. Potential returns from £1 stakes for this lucky 15. Of course, with that money and the shortening in odds, then the shortening in odds, we're looking at here this going to 10 to 3, and also the shortening odds for the premium tip. As I say, the potential returns were about £480 for £1 stakes. We're now looking at around about 400 from £1 stakes in this one. Alan, I've seen your question. I'll answer that in just a second for you there, mate. Right, we'll move on now to the odds on double for today, and we start off. The odds on double is Winslow in the 230 at Haydock, and this horse is currently around about 10 to 11. And then it's Casp in the 730 at Pontefract, currently at around about 4 to 9 at the moment. Now, this pays just over about 6 to 4 at the moment, so it looks to be a decent odds on double. A 2-point win bet on this, of course. And yeah, I think that looks to be a really good odds on double for today. They're all of our tips for today. If you've got any questions about any of them, then please do feel free to get in touch. There are no problem with any extra tips or anything that you'd like. So Alan Corner says in the 8 o'clock at Pontefract, relight my fire. Just take a little look at the card here. What we're looking at good ground. Personally, Alan, I wouldn't have that as a replacement each way bet, to be honest. On relight my fire, I wouldn't be too keen on that. If if I was looking at something from that race, I can't see too much out the top of the market. It's not really an each way betting race to me, but I just wonder if the relight my fire, I think, might be just a little bit outclassed in this race, to be honest, mate. I mean, I wouldn't put you off it because it is a really good price, but I can have another look for a replacement little earner, and I think I'm with you on Facebook, Anna, so I can send you a message there. But for me personally, I wouldn't be having relight my fire there in what is quite a competitive race, and I just think the horse could be a little bit outclassed. So not for me, Alan, but if you do fancy it, then do please go for it. But yeah, so that's just how easy it is to ask a question if you want to do that. I'm not the sort of person, I see a lot of tipsters and stuff, whenever, they're suggested a horse, they're always like, yeah, great chance, that'll do it. And, I will be completely honest with you, I could be wrong, but I'm going to be honest and say, that horse that Alan showed there, I don't think Relight My Fire has a chance of placing there. Well, it has a chance, of course, but I wouldn't be putting an each way bet on that. Could be wrong, but that's just the way it goes. So, yeah, any other questions, feel free to get them in. But just want to quickly mention that at 11:30, so in about 15 minutes or so, the Scoop 6 is going to be revealed. As I said, it's going to be about a £15 million prize for the Scoop 6, rolling over once again. Who knows if it's going to be one? Probably not. I mean, it's probably going to be some really, really competitive races. But yeah, it gets announced what races it is, with strong suggestion that the Temple the Silver Bowl at Haydock, which is without doubt a really, really competitive race. It looks as though that might even be the one where the final leg for the Scoop 6, which I kind of have mixed feelings about, to be honest. I think they're trying to make it as hard as possible. That's understandable, but this can't keep rolling over. I think a lot of people want to see a winner. I know it rolling over, and all that excitement's good, but I think they are making it very, very tough. But there you go. If you're lucky enough to pluck out all 6 winners from tomorrow's Scoop 6, then fair play to you. I'll take my hat off completely there. So yeah, that's going to get announced at 11:30. And yeah, so that will be announced at 11:30. Plenty of excitement for that, no doubt. And yeah, can completely understand that. Should be a really good day's racing tomorrow, as I say. And that Scoop 6, it does. There's no doubt about it. It does add a much needed bit of excitement to some racing. And unfortunately, my Scoop 6 was lasted all of one race, where I think I went for a Lustrous Prince in the first or something, and it was gone. But I'm not the sort that's going to be spending sort of £50-100 on a ticket. I think I'll do maybe 4 quid if I'm feeling really adventurous. But I think it's a bit of a chance thing. I think sometimes you might be just as likely to pick out a winning Scoop 6 with a £2 bet as you are if you spend a couple of hundred. I think sometimes maybe things are just looking down on you, and you've got you've got luck on your side, that might sometimes be just the easiest way to go. But yeah, good luck with all your Scoop Sixes tomorrow. I wouldn't put you off it. It is always a great, it's great fun. There's no doubt about that. So yeah, Alan, I'll send you a replacement list letter if you did want one on Facebook in just a second. But yeah, that's just about it for today's video. Before I start rambling on too much, thanks all for watching today. Have a fantastic weekend. I don't think that I'm going to be able to do a video tomorrow. I'm actually away in Essex this evening, and I'm straight out in London tomorrow, leaving at about 12 o'clock. Leaving, sorry, at about 12 o'clock. So I think I'll spend, all of my time doing the tips and getting them out there, which I'm sure you'd rather than, trying to rush both the tips and the video. But I'll let you all know there. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll speak to you all later on. Thanks, and bye-bye.